Good morning, all. Hope everybody is doing well this morning. Nice to see everybody in here. We're going to just give a few minutes, let people come in. I am actually in the process of looking stuff up at the moment to play for today. I wasn't sure what I was going to do this morning, and then decided to go ahead and come in here and first visit. We're gonna go through a couple of stuff here. It's stuff that some of you guys have already seen. It's stuff that maybe some of you guys haven't. I've got some calls, previous Don Wells calls that we're going to be reviewing, and everything like that. So, good morning, all. Don't forget to go out there and like, share, and subscribe this channel. And please like this segment. Good morning, little Dave. Good morning, all. Let me just go through and say good morning to everyone. Perfectly Toasted, ZZT, Amber, Dallas Country, Karen. Nice to see you again this morning. Let's see who else I've got in here. Little Dave, Sherry Ann. Nice to see you all. Nice to see you all. So Delphi, somebody said I said it wrong. I don't listen, and many people know I read. I don't I don't listen to the news, and I'm an imperfect person that makes mistakes. But don't worry, somebody's going to catch my mistakes. Don't worry about it. They will be pointed out. I promise you. You never have to worry about that. They will be pointed out. So, good morning, Emma Lou. I'm thinking I'm saying your name right. Again, another one of those. Nancy, good morning. Good morning, all. Good morning, all. So, we're just going to wait just a few minutes and see how everybody's doing here. It is overcast today. I do not see stars. I do not see sky. I just see clouds. I see clouds out the window. So, as many of you guys know, I have not stepped out of the house this morning. I have been up since 4 a.m. working diligently here on something other than this, some paperwork that needs to be done that I've got to get out today. Hi, Connie. It's nice to see you. Oh, good. Nice to see you, Connie. Oh, geez, that's a long one. Mr. Sister. Nice to see you here. You guys got some clever names. I really do have to say you have some clever names. It makes it very difficult for me to say hi in the morning sometimes, though. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. This is the official coffee club mug. This is available on our merch store. This is the #1 selling item on the merch store. We have a lot of things. So if the coffee's not your thing, that's okay. We have tumblers, we have t-shirts, we have sweatshirts. I know some of the northern states are still freezing. Get yourself a nice warm, some jogging pants and a sweatshirt. It'll help the channel, and it'll keep you warm, like my coffee does. I don't need warmth here in Florida. Like I think it was like 80 degrees outside yesterday. And anyways. So I hope all is well. We're taking a deep dive into all these telephone calls that we've spoke with Don Wells about. I figured it was pertinent, especially since everybody's clamming up and we're not really hearing from the key players, which kind of is a telling in a way, right? So you're thinking they keep trying to convince the world that they're cooperating, and we're talking about Don Wells and Candus Bly. We believe that they're cooperating. That's what they want us to believe, that they're cooperating and they do not have attorneys. That's what they're wanting the whole world to believe, even though the sheriff came out and contradicted that statement and finally broke his silence and letting us know that no, they truly are in fact not cooperating and have lawyered up. And all these little indications, all these moves and stuff, it's very indicative of them having an attorney. The way they're talking now, what they're saying, lack of statements. Which I've said from the very beginning, Candus needs to shut her mouth. I mean, I personally have said that. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning. Hippiporium. Maybe I got that right. You guys got some really weird names, I gotta say. You guys are making Betty struggle here. Making Betty struggle. Sunshine State, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Good morning, all. Good morning. They're also watching what they're saying. Exactly. Hey, Kay. Good morning. Good morning. So you are absolutely right. They are. We're seeing a major shift, and we're outsiders looking in, so we're the first to see it. Maybe they're acting like they don't see it, but all of us are seeing it. We saw them go from one. Well, Don Wells couldn't shut his mouth if he had an opportunity. Hi, LS. Good morning. Good morning, Marie. Nice to see you. Oh, from Sweden. We love Sweden. Nice to see you. So, greetings from Florida. Nice. You're one of my neighbors here. That's great, LS. That's great. So you have this change. We couldn't get Don to shut up. I mean, even when we stopped talking to him, then he would start calling us, right? And he always called us when he was 3 sheets to the wind, it sounded like. And obviously he wouldn't call us until Candus passed out. So Candus was 3 sheets to the wind too. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning. 3 sheets to the wind too, because, in some of our calls, he's talking about how she's passed out. He didn't say she went to bed. Oh, she's passed out. What his words were. She passed out. Anyone with any information related to the whereabouts of Summer Wells is asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. She was 4 foot 40 pounds when she went missing. She was 5 years old when she went missing. She is now 6 years old, and we have no earthly idea where she may be. I can tell you that based upon Diesel, based upon the signaling and what we're seeing play out and what we saw play out with the searches from law enforcement that weren't really broadcast until they already started, right? Is kind of indicating that this is more of a recovery mission as opposed to finding search, a search mission, which is a very hard pill to swallow and very disheartening. But we still want, to bring Summer home safe, or Summer back safe. We don't want to bring her home. Her home is the worst place that she could ever be. And I think we all can agree on that. Even the ones that are pro Candus and pro Don know that what those children lived in was a very dangerous and unsafe environment for children. So we want to make sure that she's brought back safe, which at this point, with this many months, and no one's ever seen her outside of Candus that one day on June 15th, it is probably not going to be a good outcome. A lot of people have asked, do I believe that there's a grand jury? I really don't know how to answer that, because grand juries are so secretive, and it's almost like they have a gag order in order to be associated with a grand jury. So I'm not quite sure how to really answer that question. Do I believe that they're going to be doing something to that effect? Absolutely, I do. I think that if they haven't done it yet, they will be doing it in the near future. But I have a funny feeling that they're just getting all their ducks in a row to start taking action. I have to believe that that's what they are doing. So, Rodmilla, good morning. Amy, good morning. Christine, nice to see you. Good morning, Mike. I hope everything's going well with you. Jess, good morning. Cotton Candy, nice to see you here this morning. Let's see who else. I think that we covered everybody so far. So good morning, all. Good morning, all. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Do not keep this channel a secret. We go out to these spots. We can't go out to everyone, but the ones that we do go out to is a real, um, you know, we put a lot of energy and effort. We really manage our time well. Sometimes we're up at 4:30 in the morning and don't go to bed until 11:30 at night, and are up at 4:30 in the morning next day. And that just really depends on how much time we have in the area. Either way, we are out very early. We utilize every second of daylight that we can utilize in seeking answers on these cases when we go out. Many of you guys know we're scheduling a trip, um, a trip to Michigan, and everything that we're receiving right now in Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal is 100% going to this trip. So if you guys would like to donate a few dollars, down below at the scrolling line, that's how you can do that. Again, it's going to be the first or second week of May, and we will not disappoint our audience. We always um, pull off some amazing interviews. We work very hard to create a viewing experience that you don't really get too much on other channels. There are a few. I don't want to discredit some people. There are a few. So I just wanted to give you guys an update because I love being transparent on this. Good morning. Who else did I miss? Somebody? Texaholic. Good morning. Pink. Good morning. Swiss Miss. Nice to see you. Lauren. Okay. Nice to see you guys. Good morning. Good morning. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knows where we are, how much money we've raised. And again, this is just, we haven't really started fundraising. Fundraising usually will go on anything else. I'm just going to throw this out there for those that would like to participate in this. And I'm wondering, I got to get with the team because I'm wondering if for the people that do participate in funding this trip, I think we're going to do possibly a Zoom call and show the video to our sponsors before we upload it to YouTube, because I think there should be a benefit to the people that sponsor us and help us along the way. And I don't like the members, because not everybody that sponsors to us are members on our channels. And then whose channel do we use, right? Whose channel do we get to use? And membership, it just gets complicated. But we have Zoom, and we have the ability to play videos on Zoom. So I'm thinking and of course we'd send out these to the people that we know and that are sponsoring us. We would send out the link to them, and it's free. You don't have to pay to participate in a Zoom call with us. And I think that, good morning, Emma. Emma has, I love you, Emma. Thank you so much. Emma's a great supporter of this channel. She loves us. She loves what we do. She is in the hospital and still manages to come. I'm assuming you're out of the hospital now. Let's see. Marie. Good morning. I'm listening. Can't help mod. Keep an eye on the screen as I'm at the hospital. Oh, so she's still at the hospital. But she loves us so much that even when she's in the hospital and she feels like she's on her deathbed, she is still watching this channel and helping out every single way she can. And we really do appreciate your love and support, Emma. We can't thank you enough here at the Bullhorn Betty channel. I can tell you that. So Cheshire, I can't some of these words. Cheshire Cat, good morning. Good morning. Crime Stories Obsessed. Good morning. Good morning, Kathy, if I haven't said good morning to you yet. So and anyway, to be transparent, so far we have raised $345.46 toward our $1,750 goal. Now, remember, those plane tickets were based on prior to our gas prices raising. So I've asked asked Olivia if she can recheck airline flights. We want to make sure that we don't go under or over. So based on $1,750 budget, we are now in our new goal is $1,404.54. And again, if you guys would just like to donate your cup of coffee today, $3, $4, $5, that just crowdfunding. So again, we have Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal down below for those that would like to assist us in getting to Michigan. And it will be the first or second week of May. We still haven't put a concrete date down, but we will make sure that you guys know as soon as we can. Good morning. Okay. Good morning, Pixie. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you. I will tell you guys soon. You should know. Pixie, you've been around long enough. You should know how this rolls. You should. It sucks. I wish we could say. I wish we could say. But I'm sure people are connecting some dots right now. So it's not going to be a secret for too long. We are just working really hard. And I think that with the Michigan trip, it's going to give a whole different perspective than any perspective that you have been receiving on YouTube or through the news for that matter. And, we're very creative, and we have a vision and we have a mission. So we are going to be working. Hi, Erin. Good morning. We are going to be working toward that mission. So very thankful. I'm very thankful that we get to do this. I'm very thankful to YouTube as well as TikTok. We haven't even got our TikTok channels to discuss this with our team there. And let's see here. There we go. We haven't even gone on to TikTok yet to talk to our team on TikTok yet. But our team on TikTok is ultra supportive, and we have a massive following. Also, in addition to YouTube here, I am trying to work on setting up a platform on Rumble. So it's similar to TikTok or similar to YouTube, and has, the ability to monetize and everything like that. So I've just got to figure out how I can get Rumble to run simultaneously when I'm doing these lives. So it would be, oh, Emma, we love you. We really do. I think you're a wonderful, wonderful person, and you're very dedicated. And I just hope you feel better. I really do. I hate seeing you or hearing you going through all these medical stuff. So it's just a big shout out to you. Big shout out to you. Good morning, Harley's World. Nice to see you. So we're going to go through some phone calls with Don Wells, and hopefully, I need you guys to go out and like this channel because we do work hard on this stuff. There's a lot of work. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to show you our page. And, a lot of people don't realize, like, you guys literally have no clue about the work we do. We have not showed you guys half of the work that we have done. And this is just one file folder. We got subfolders from here. I even have another separate folder for her somewhere over here somewhere. I don't know. But we literally have so much work going on. Here's another file folder of just literally work. I mean, seriously, these are all videos. I mean, we work our tail end off when we go out to these locations, and a lot of this stuff, many of you guys have never seen the footage for. So, we pull it out when it's necessary. We can't flood the internet with it, because at the end of the day, people just steal the crap that we put out there. You know what I'm saying? They just steal it. So we don't do it. We wait until it's the appropriate time to submit some stuff out, and that's what we do. So if you guys are just curious, that's why many people haven't seen stuff. So again, we work very hard when we're out here, and we hope that maybe you guys would be willing to support our next upcoming trip. And if you guys have any information on Summer Wells or the whereabouts of Summer Wells, please call 1-800-TBI-FIND. We really need to try to bring, I think at this point, we need to let her rest in peace. And I know some people are going to be upset for me saying that, and that's okay. But, I try to be honest with myself, and I try to be honest with the audience. I have no proof whether she's dead or alive. But at this point, I feel in my heart that she's no longer, and that I really, really, really would like just to let that baby rest in peace. And that's just kind of where my mindset is. Nisa, you couldn't help. You couldn't help yourself but to be known. That's good. That's good. You're good. I think it's cute. I think that's cute. Anissa, perfectly toasted. You are perfectly toasted. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I know. And I get it, and I hate saying it myself. I mean, it breaks my heart, but we have to be honest. And I mean, we searched. Think about, let's just have a conversation about this. I mean, our team aside, there was over 1,000 people out there searching for her. 1,000. And if I'm not mistaken, there's been over 5 or 6 major searches from law enforcement. Um, Outside of the last time Candace seen her or saw her, she's never been seen again. They were the last people to see her alive. They were the last people to see her, period. And then poof, she vanishes. There's enough indicators there. Good morning, Rita. There's enough indicators there that say something happened while she was in their care. Um, it's a sad story. It's a sad story. And then you take Don's statements from the very first interview to, we're going to be playing one here in just a little bit. Let me see if I got these up yet. Those are the ones we've seen, and there's another one in here. And I'm going to play a few more. Let me just go ahead and control new. Get the other Summerwell's file open. Okay. And we have another Don Wells call here. We're gonna play all of them. We're gonna start playing a few of these so we can start hearing them, in order of where we need to hear them. And one's from the first trip, and a couple are from the first trip, and a couple are from the second trip. And let me see if I can find those. I wanted to hear all the phone calls, but there's a couple phone calls that are missing. And it's not that they're missing, they're just in a different folder, and I just haven't found them yet. Let's see, are they in here? Arkansas 0114 03. Arkansas. Oh, there's booking photos. All right. So either way, I do have one pulled up here. We're going to listen to that, and then we're going to go to a different one, and we're just going to listen to them. And we're going to see if we can make heads or tails. Now that, like, hindsight's 2020, right? And we know that there's the possibility of Don Wells being actually at the house at the time Summer went missing. It kind of changed. It's a game changer. And do we know that to be a fact? No. But we do know that he consistently came home. Let's put facts together. So he consistently came home every single day. He clocked out of work, he didn't clock into work because he was a subcontractor, but he left work every single day about 3:30 in the afternoon and made it home by 4:30 in the afternoon, which is right in the time when Candace said Summer went missing, supposedly. That, she was over at Grandis's house and everything like that. And for whatever reason, this particular day, Don says that he was at work, that he never left work, and that he was at work until he got the call from Candace, and that he came home and drove 90 miles an hour, that she called him around 5:30 or 6:30 or whenever. And then they were calling the law enforcement, which in the law enforcement, she said she screwed up the entire thing. She said she went walking when she didn't go walking. Everybody knows she does not go walking. She didn't know what to say. She wasn't a professional at, talking, this initial call. She was very nervous. She was under the influence when the law enforcement got out there. Just a number of things. And a lot of stuff when we look back just doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense. Outside of them saying that Summer was abducted, their entire story has consistently changed. It's all the fine details of the story. And when you hone in on, well, what about this and what about that? That's when their story starts changing. And those fine details are what indicates whether somebody's being deceptive or being truthful. Anybody can say, like I can say the cat out front was abducted, right? But that doesn't mean the cat outside was abducted. It could have ran across the street back to its home. Outside of that, what makes you think that? They couldn't answer that. They couldn't answer simple questions on why they think that. He couldn't answer simple questions on how it would have been conducted. He couldn't answer simple questions on who he thinks, why he thinks this would have happened or how. I mean, this mountain, you've got to understand this mountain. You cannot just lay in wait. It's almost, I don't know how to explain it. Anybody that believes that this child was abducted off that mountain needs to go visit that mountain. And once you do, you can, Anissa, you just can't help yourself, can you? You're killing me, girl. You're killing me. Anissa's back. She decided to have a little fun this morning. All right, let's see what this one is. This is a Don Wells call. I honestly don't know what's going to be said on this. So this is a disclaimer right now that it's probably going to be profanity laced, probably not something appropriate for children. So if you have children in the room, please use your discretion on whether you would like them to listen to this or not. I really don't think it's appropriate for any child. I don't think this channel is appropriate for any child under the age of 13. That's my disclaimer. So you guys take it with what you will. Good morning, Melinda. Good morning, Tender. Hope everything's well with you guys. So Tender says, Candus called Dawn. She met Dawn with Summer, and that was the last of Summer. I believe it. I believe it. So let's just see what this one is. And again, because it is titled, that means it has been released. We have released this call in the past, and I will be trying to get more out to you, but I've got to find all the calls. They're scattered everywhere. So let me go ahead.
She was fucking helping her mother put her fucking stupid fucking knee brace on, and my daughter went down in the basement and someone took her.
So
that's how it happened, and that's the truth.
So how would somebody have known that?
You guys are lucky nobody's seen you. You know that?
I recorded everything. It's okay.
Oh, you can record all the fuck you want. You know what? That's fine.
Don.
On private property with all kinds of no trespassing signs. You're damn lucky nobody's seen y'all.
Don, I am truly trying to find your daughter. I've done this many times before.
Okay, but you're not listening.
But
man, you know what? You know how many, for reals, honestly, TBI has investigated our property. They tore our house apart 7 times.
And I just want to say they tore the house apart 7 times. We have no corroborating evidence of that statement. We have no idea how many times TBI has been up there to search. We don't know at what point they were asked no longer to search. We don't know anything related to that statement. I want to make sure that you're aware of that.
They've turned everything on this property upside down at least 7 times. And then some, send other people up here, turn this property inside out. Do you guys think you're the only ones?
But Don, this is what my problem is you've only looked.
No, you know what my problem is? You guys are renegades. I've had professional law enforcement up here. TBI, FBI, there was almost 200 different agencies up here looking for Summer.
Mhm.
And you guys think you're a
And that is not necessarily, they were searching the area, but they were not searching that mountain. They were searching the surrounding areas for her. Yes, they did, of course, do the preliminary search. They brought the dogs out there because they thought she was, wandered off or abducted at this point. And this is from our first trip, y'all. So this is really, really early on with the first conversation that we had with Don.
About something and you don't listen. You do not listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
Maybe we should just say that we want to listen.
That's the problem that you have.
That's all we have right now. Good.
You're not listening.
All right, we want to listen. We want to listen.
Was abducted.
Okay, that's fine.
But who took her? That's the question. Who?
What can we do to help?
Well, thank you. Well, number one, try to be our friend and understand where we're coming from.
Now, this has been, we just heard yesterday on another call that I had back just a couple months ago with him. And this was this was back in December. This was back in December when we had this call. This call here is from December. But we just heard another call in January, yesterday. And the one main thing that you keep hearing from Don is he wants everyone to be his friend. My question is, why does he find it necessary that we have to be his friend to search for Summer Wells? Right? Why would we have to be his friend to search for Summer Wells? His daughter, his missing daughter. You would think that whether he likes somebody or dislikes somebody, anybody would be welcome to help find his missing daughter. But if you hear, it always keeps coming back to him. It always seems to be removed from Summer and put on back on him. And it does, I keep asking myself, why? Why? Oh, wow. Interesting. Interesting, Rachel. Oops. Sorry, hold on. I hit a button. Back over here.
Well, we love our daughter.
That'll catch up.
Our heart. We miss her. We fucking cry every single freaking day.
When have we seen any of them cry? Just by a show of hands, not even a show of hands. Let's do one. Number one, have you ever seen Don cry? Yes. Number two, no. If you've never seen Don or Candus cry, hit number two. If you've seen them cry, if you've seen them show emotion, please hit number one.
For her. She was our beautiful angel. You think you love her? What do you think? What do you think she meant to us? Holy hell, freaking hellfire, man. What do you think she meant to us? She's our beautiful angel, man.
Suck his dick to get the interview, okay? That's literally what
y'all act like she's all about you and you love her, but we blah, blah, blah. What do you think she meant to us, man? Don't you think our hearts are tore out?
You want to meet up with him?
Rochelle, is it Rachel or Rachel? Whatever, however you pronounce your name. I apologize if I'm butchering it up. If you actually have him crying in an interview, if you know the link to that, post that link. I'd like to see it. I'd like to play it for the audience.
And then you all fucking YouTubers come up here and act like all that and put her picture on your fucking channel and act like you know something that you don't know. And what do you think that does to us?
How can we help?
What do you want us to do?
Yes, I do. She did cry. She did cry on Dr. Phil. But why was she crying? We'll play that. I don't think she was crying for Summer. I don't think she was crying for Summer. I could be wrong. I think we need to play it.
Tell us how we can make it right.
Don't play us, number one.
Oh, definitely won't. I'm trying to warn you. I've been trying to warn you for 5 months.
Man, I know Benny Keys. I know all that, man. I know what he's about. I know where he's been. I've been to all the places that boy's been. That's how I know Benny Keys.
Well, he just got played by Benny Keys, so again, he didn't know too much.
Ugh.
Really?
Yeah.
I happen to have a lot of respect for him. You know why? Because that's where I was raised too. Fucking Dallas County Jail and fucking Houston, Harris County Jail, and all the penitentiaries and everything else. How do you think I learned so much respect in my life? Which a lot of people don't have no respect these days.
I'm sorry. Out of all the conversations I had with Don Wells, respect was the one thing he didn't have. So if that's respect to him, my mouth is like literally. I'm sorry. No respect. Oh, did I just hit something? Let's see if did I just.
You know, and respect for that God that is so beautiful. That he come down here. You know, he give everything for us. Okay, so we have the same God. So, number one, we have to respect God, and we have to be on the same page. So, can we work together?
So he's basically trying to get me on team Don and Candus, so we can work together. To, in my opinion, now hindsight's 2020. I really think he was trying to get messaging out that he and Candus weren't the culprits in this case, or the persons of interest, I should say. We don't know. And you know what? I have to agree with, Michelle After Dark. We don't know what happened to her. Many of these people, we don't know. Okay. We don't. All we can do is hypothesize. If I'm saying that right. The hypothesis. Sorry. No pun intended. But, we take the information that we have. So, for example, the reason why we think it was a dry drowning. Now, this is prior to us believing Don Wells was home at the time of her disappearance, right? So him being home at the time of her disappearance plays a whole different kind of element in this scenario. And I've said that out the gate, unless information changes, this is what we believe. Because of the PTSD type of symptoms that Candus was exhibiting at the waterhole, and the fact that Hunter had never been the same again since the waterhole, it alleges that something happened at that waterhole. Okay? She goes through all of this stuff. We now know that Grandis was not at the waterhole with her. So that whole story she gave to Chris McDonough was BS. Was BS. Yes, thank you, ME. That is a good analogy right there. Yes, I agree with that. And yes, everybody notices that he always speaks about Summer in the past tense. That is true. That is absolutely true. He absolutely does speak about Summer in the past tense, and has done that from day one. So we're going to continue. And this is my campaign to show the audience, to show YouTube, you do not need to be friends with criminals. You do not need to be friends with persons of interest to get conversations and to get interviews with those people. You don't have to sell your soul to the devil. You can be true to yourself and true to your audience and still get the stuff you want, even in opposition. Now, everybody knows that from out the gate, and we're going to play something else here shortly, but everybody knows out the gate, we have analyzed this case and came up. Now, there's a lot of things that are different. You know, we thought maybe she was abused and lost her life that way. We believe she may have had a second dry drowning. We believe that there were a lot of other different things. Has done changed her story on that. I don't know what you mean by that, Blue Eyes, but I can tell you that the information that we have from Allie, from our interview with Allie, we have corroborated a lot of the information that she has said. That means we didn't just take her word for it. Just like Jose, we've never just took his word for it. We actually picked his entire interview apart and have corroborating information that contradicts some of the things that he said. We don't take anybody's word as true. You know, we are very skeptical of everything we hear. And it also comes back to why we don't immediately post stuff on YouTube. You know, a lot of people get information and immediately have to go out and post it on YouTube. We do not do that. We do not do that for a variety of reasons. And one of them is to confirm people's information and to confirm their story. Do we get it right 100%, 100% of the time? Of course not. That's being perfect, and nobody in this world is perfect. So, you know, we work with what we get, and I can tell you what we get is a massive amount of information, and then we dissect that massive amount of information and find out where there's holes, and then find out how we can either prove or disprove it. That's how we work.
No.
Yes.
And I want to rewind that just a tad because you'll hear Candus in the back.
Down here, you know, he gave everything for us. Okay, so we have the same God. So, number one, we have to respect God, and we have to be on the same page. So, can we work together? No.
Yes.
That was Candus in the background when he was asking us if we can work together. Her saying no. We're here trying to help find your missing 5-year-old daughter. And you've got the mother of that 5-year-old daughter not wanting anybody to help in the case. Now, mind you, again, hindsight's 2020, right? We now know that Don and Candus have not been reaching out to law enforcement like normal parents would do of a missing child to find out what new information they have. What new information have they acquired? What can they tell them about their missing daughter's case? We now know they were never doing that. We know that from Grandis's interview, which we're going to go over that as well. We're going to go over that as well.
Yes.
We have to. We can't sit there and fight back and forth and all this bullshit. It's crazy. All this is causing us problems.
Tell us what you need.
What do you need from us?
Okay, that's our goal, right? We got to find someone.
Yes.
Okay, I appreciate you all for being so concerned. Okay, let me get this to you. That's awesome that you feel like that. Because trust me, we love her just as much or more than you guys do. And I'm glad that you guys love her that much. That's so cool. That's great. Well, that's awesome. I mean,
where would you say that we should start our efforts?
Well, look, some sorry son of a bitch took her from us. I don't know. If I knew, we would have her back right now. TBI would. Look, TBI is all over this. FBI, 200 different police agencies are all over this. So you're not doing anything that they haven't done already. You need to understand that, okay? So I don't know.
Well, we have the social media presence. We've been getting leads.
If I knew, I would have her back in my arms right now, loving her and hugging her. If I knew that.
Well, we do have a social media presence to bring a lot
That's true. That's good. So we need to work together. Please. We got to stop this fighting shit. And all this bullshit being spread is it's ridiculous.
So
but you need to understand, you come on our property and you interfered with a crime scene investigation. Okay, but I'm willing to be nice. All right. So,
first of all, we didn't interfere with a crime scene investigation because we were on the road. We didn't go on the property, nor did we touch anything, first and foremost. So that's irrelevant. So for those people that want to say something about that, they can speak till the birds come home. It doesn't matter. Secondly, that was not an active crime scene at the time. And the reason why it wasn't an active crime scene at the time is because none of the law enforcement was searching. If it was an active crime scene, those parents wouldn't still be able to stay in that home. They remove everybody in it during an active crime scene. If people don't know the protocols of law enforcement and how crime scenes are conducted, they do not allow, people like me or even the homeowner to be inside the home when they are conducting their crime scene duties, period. So by the fact that they are in the home, that is no longer a crime scene. The fact that they're able to live on that property, it's no longer a crime scene. So I want to make sure that that's clarified for all the people that are out there that don't understand crime scene procedures and things of that nature. And yes, Jess, and they put tape up.
let's forget about that. And I'm glad that you're willing to help. Glad, but man, we got to be on the same page, man.
We keep hearing we have to be on the same page. He's so happy we're out there to help, right? He's so happy that we're out there to help as long as we do it by being his friend and being on the same page as the primary person of interest in the disappearance of his daughter. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep my mind open. I'm not going to advocate for anybody until they are cleared. And if I find out that they may have more to do with it, allegedly, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to be nice about it. I'm not a court of law. I'm not a judge and a juror. They're not, innocent until proven guilty in the work I do. They're not innocent until proven guilty in the work law enforcement does. That's for the courts and the jurors to take on after they've been accused of the crime, right? They haven't actively been accused of the crime by law enforcement, but they darn sure haven't been cleared. And the first people cleared in something like this is the parents. So explain to me how we have Jose has been put on the, we won't even say cleared, but put on the bottom of the list. Andrew's been put on the bottom of the list. Dudley's been put on the bottom of the list. But there are 2 to 3 people that are still at the very top of that list. And that's Candus Bly, Don Wells, and Candace Harrer. Can anybody explain why that would be after all these months that all these other people can be moved to the bottom of the list, except the parents and the grandparent? That's very telling. That is very, very telling. And we also heard from Benny Key's own words that when law enforcement came there, when they tried to fraudulently, lie about us being on their property, which we weren't. And little did they know we were sitting at the police station when they were trying to make the false allegation, showing the detectives, the main detectives running the Summer Wells case, the videos of everything that we had done that day, which again helped us because they could have filed false allegations. And had we not had the videotapes of everything we did, it could have been possible that those false allegations would have resulted in an arrest of people on our team, which they did not. And again, it's because we had video evidence of us not stepping on their property, and all they had was their words. And law enforcement was not very kind to them when they called the law on us. They were very rude to Candace and Grandis. And you have to ask yourself, why would any law enforcement agency be rude to the parents of a missing 5-year-old child? They're probably rude to her because they know a heck of a lot more than we do.
Somebody took her from our property. We don't know where she's at. We don't know what's. We got somebody come up on our property right now.
It's not me.
Yeah, it's not us. We're sitting right here.
Well, I know that.
Where do I go now with this conversation?
We want to meet up with him.
Go to
We
his
have
house.
to meet up. We have
It's
to meet
just
up with
so
him and talk
fucking
about how we
tiring.
can
I'm
help.
so sick of it all.
We
I'm so sick
understand
of
why
the
it's so
rumors, the
Yeah,
bullshit.
say that, yeah,
We didn't come to
Uh,
start shit.
What,
Need to be on key. Need to be on point. Need to
what do I need to say?
work together, man. If you want to work
Agree with
together,
every
then let's
fucking
do
thing he
that,
says.
okay?
Agree with everything.
Alright.
I completely understand.
I agree.
So how can we get
Listen.
this message out to folks?
Do what?
How can we get your message out to people?
I don't look. Listen. Understand this. She was abducted from here. I promise you. Some
Okay.
creepy, sorry son of a bitch took her from our property.
Do you think it
That's
would have been
what I
somebody you
For
know?
a fact. Huh?
Do you think it might have been somebody that you know?
We don't know who it was.
Gotcha.
We don't know. I wish I knew. If we knew who it
I
was,
can't hear
somebody
two
would
people.
be dead right now. I promise you. We got all kind of people and friends that have guns, and they want to kill them firsthand before the police get to them. Trust me.
Would you be willing to at least speak to me face to face so I can get your message out to our followers?
We want to
Okay.
work together.
That's a possibility if you'll work with us.
Absolutely.
But you got to quit damaging Benny Keys, man. I know Benny Keys.
Well, in all fairness, I did not know who he was. He started talking about me first.
Well, that's what Benny Keys does. You know, when Benny Keys, when he sees trouble coming, he attacks. The best way that he.
I bet you he's regretting those words right now. I can guarantee you Don Wells is sitting in Hawkins County Jail regretting those words right now. I bet you now that he's sobering up, he's regretting an awful lot.
He knows how. He's from Dallas, Texas. Okay.
Well, we're in my opinion, we're not trouble. We want to help. I mean, we just helped a family
Okay.
in Florida in Pasco County find their.
Okay, then let's do this. Let's organize. Okay, I'm willing to organize. Okay, but then if we can do that,
He has never once organized one search for his daughter.
and we can meet on some. If we can, number one, we have to take God into consideration, our Creator. You know, all these YouTubers want to say, "Oh, I'm a creator." Well, you know what? We only have one Creator.
Right. I brought my Bible with me, so
Oh,
it's in my
cool.
backpack.
Oh, that's good. All right, then I'll tell you what. If you want to really help, all right, then I'll work with you, and I'll set. Let's meet tomorrow somewhere.
Okay.
All right,
You got it.
Why don't we meet for someplace for coffee or lunch or something like that, or maybe
Okay,
breakfast?
All right, that sounds fair.
All right.
Because if you guys really want to help, then,
We do.
then that's great. I appreciate that very much, and God bless you for that. For Summer's sake.
It's a sad story. We're sorry you guys are going through all this. You know,
Well,
when
I
you're
appreciate
left
that.
to your
Thank
own
you.
devices
Thank
and
you.
get in your
I
head.
don't care about me. I only care about my daughter. I don't give a fuck about me. You can blow my brains out right now. I can give a fuck less.
Well, we don't want to do that. We'd really like to reunite you with your daughter. That's what we'd like to do.
I wish that was possible. But we live.
Yes, this was in December. We would like to reunite you with your daughter. And yes, that is what he says. His comment was, I wish that was possible. So we have, what is this? 11 minutes of him talking about we need to work with him to help him find Summer. And then he's telling us back in December that there's no possibility of him being united with his daughter. You heard that out of his own mouth.
Live in an evil world. You need to understand evil.
He is evil.
If you're gonna meet with me tomorrow, Okay, this is one thing I ask of you.
Sure.
There's a woman on YouTube. She's got a channel that's called Unlocking Bible Prophecies 2.0. All right, she's a Seventh-day Adventist.
Mm-hmm.
Watch one of her videos. Take it to heart because it's so important.
Cha-Cha, you are absolutely right. The issue here is he did not go to church like he did until after Summer went missing. Did he go to church here and there? Yes, he did. But he was not a church-going person. We heard that from Allie. We heard that from Jose. These are people that actually stayed in their home with them. And so there is no possibility of him of being this ultra-religious person until after his daughter went missing. Now, again, did they go to church here and there? Yes, they did. They just weren't frequent. They weren't. They didn't go there every Saturday. They didn't go there every Sunday. They weren't regulars. They showed up every now and again, and that's the way it was. After this, he showed up to several different churches, and a few of them without Candus and just by himself to pray. And we have a preacher on the record talking about that, and I will find that video and bring that to you guys, where Don came into a church for prayer from a preacher, a pastor, whatever, and he prayed with him. This was without Candus. This was in the middle of the day. So obviously he is, struggling with grief, and he is trying to find redemption. It's almost like he's seeking redemption, but you can't get redemption when you're constantly lying. You have to purge that lie in order to receive redemption, and he's just not willing to do that.
Important for your children.
Okay. Well, I'll do that as soon as I get off the phone with you.
Okay, it's so important for your children. It's important for us too.
Is that the name of the episode? It's so important for your children?
No, Unlocking Bible Prophecies 2.0. That woman that's been around the world.
Okay.
And baptizing even North Koreans where the Bible is not allowed. Do you know in North Korea?
Thank you, Lana.
That you cannot have a Bible? Do you know in North Korea that you have to worship Kim Jong-un?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah. There's a woman, there's a young girl that escaped North Korea 3 times. And the 3rd time they told her if she gets caught again that they was going to execute her. So she escaped and jumped the fence again and went to China and got baptized in the SDA church. And then the Chinese officials arrested her and sent her back to North Korea, and they executed her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So human atrocities happen all the time, and we need to be aware of this kind of thing.
Right.
I just don't want Summer's life to be in vain. Okay, she's a beautiful girl. I love her with all my heart, and but the seeds is for good.
Yes, I agree.
So if it saves your soul and mine and your friends and everybody else, I don't know what happened to her. I wish I did.
I believe that. I truly do believe that.
All right, cool. Then let's work together for a common good.
Okay. Where's the nearest?
Let's do this.
Yeah, where's the nearest breakfast joint that you have?
In Summer's name. In Summer's name. Look, Summer. She's 5 years old. There's no way she could be capable of even committing sin. Right. So look, Jesus. She's innocent. Never committed sin in his entire life, and only done good his entire life, and only helped people his entire life. So there's kind of a similarity there, the way I see it.
Yeah.
So let's use this whole thing for good.
We can do that. We can do that.
Cool. That sounds great. That sounds so cool. Let's do that. Man, that would, if nothing else, if it could save you and your children and me, myself, and you know, how cool could, man, that would be so cool.
Save me, you, and then he goes, and myself. How cool would that be for us to all save each other? Don, I can't save you from your sins. I can't save you from what you've done and continue to do, right? Like, if he was this religious, then why does he have 40 years of criminal conduct through multiple states? You know? And listen to kind of how conniving he sounds at the end. I mean, when you hear how he was just talking, he sounded almost conniving. Like he's getting one over on us. Odd.
You know?
So let me ask you this, Don. If we're going to work on this together and we're going to be on the same page, we're going to meet tomorrow. Where's the nearest breakfast place? And let us treat you for breakfast. Let's have a conversation. It'll be public, so there's not going to
Wendy's in Kingsport.
Wendy's in Kingsport.
On Wilcox Drive.
Wilcox Drive, Wendy's in. And what time would be best for you?
As soon as the sun rises.
As soon as the sun rises. So when does the sun rise around here? About 7?
Whenever the sun gets you up.
Gotcha. Good enough. Fair enough.
Sunrise.
Okay. All right. So we'll let you know. I'll be there at sunrise, and I'll text you when we're there and let you know that we're there.
Let's at least try to work to a common goal and save each other's lives and be brothers and sisters in Christ.
Save each other's lives. He's more concerned, listen to this, more concerned about himself and saving his life than he is about saving the life of his own daughter. Just pointing that out.
Guys, I mean, man, we got to do this, man.
Yeah, and like I said, I'd love nothing more than Summer being there.
Say again, you broke up a little.
I said I'd love nothing more than, Summer being there, us finding Summer, us reuniting her. I mean, that is our goal.
I know, I may not do anything. Trust me, that's my whole life. But somebody stole her, man. This is a wicked world. This is a very wicked world. You don't have to look far to see the wickedness.
I agree with that.
So let's just pull together and let.
And yes, I did agree with that because I was talking on the phone with a monster.
And love and hug each other, because that's what Summer, and not only Summer, but that's what Jesus wants us to do. That's what Jesus wants us to do. As I have loved you, love one another.
Fair enough. And, if you can think of anything tonight before we meet, that we can do to help assist you in any way, please let us know when we meet tomorrow. I mean, we did come a long way to help.
Let's just put it on Jesus. Let's just pray to him and trust in him. And we'll go from there, okay?
All right, my dear.
That sounds great.
All right, we'll see you at Wendy's tomorrow on Wilcox at sunrise.
All right, yeah. First thing in the morning, sun up, Wendy's, Wilcox Drive in Kingsport.
You got it. See you then.
And we'll talk.
Perfect.
Okay, I appreciate that.
All right, my dear.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you
Sounds great.
soon.
Y'all have a good night.
You
Get
too.
some good sleep. And just pray for all those being killed in North Korea for nothing.
You got it.
All right. All right, my dear.
We'll see you.
Y'all have a good night.
You too.
We'll see you in the morning, okay?
All right, we'll do. Thank you.
Right under her nose.
Yeah, she was fucking helping her mother put her
Atrocities in North Korea. We're talking about his flippin' daughter. And he wonders why people have such a problem with him. Like, I have never in my life, let me pull this off so I can search for the next video. What? And this is conversations we had back in December. Conversations we had back in December with him. And that was on, it looks like December 8th. December 8th was when we had those conversations. We have more. I just don't know. Let me just keep going. There's a lot more. And I know that we had one in a restaurant. And trying to find those. You know, I've got my stuff all scattered. I need to bring it back. Let's see what this one is.
Eyes blue, 40 pounds, 3 feet. Missing since 6/15/21.
So we're getting close. Getting close.
Second door on your right.
Second door.
To the end of the house.
Second door in the.
There it is.
So I can't seem to find it, but we have one at a restaurant. While we were at the restaurant, we had a conversation with Don. So I've got to find that one, but there are a lot more. So let me see what's in here. Okay, and here's one. I think this might have been the one. Downwell visitation. No, this might be the one we already watched.
It's just like the pattern.
Yeah, that's the one we watched yesterday. So let me go over to a different area. It's working on it, and we'll get some more pulled up. But yeah, it's just, you know, every time we talk to him, every blessed time we speak to Don Wells, it's never really about him. And, you know, he says all of this about, you know, Grandis and how she, you know, Candus went in there and had to fix her knee brace. And yeah, they say that. They say that, but at the end of the day, did she? Because I'm telling you, there's just some fishiness going on. And let me see if I can find that's Summer Wells. Let me see. May have put some more stuff in here. 122 call, working on it. Let me see what we got here. Okay, here's another call that we can play. And this is again
To that church. And then
you've already seen this one, nothing new.
Candus and Jill, and we donated the dog food. I don't know why, you know, they're saying that I made the dogs sick. I thought your dogs were beautiful. I do. I don't.
Man, them are just stray dogs. You know what? We had really good dogs, and motherfuckers steal the good dogs and leave the strays here.
So he's saying that those dogs that we fed weren't even his. They're stray dogs, yet he picked up the dog food to feed those dogs that aren't his, that live up on his mountain.
Man, there's many a time we've had people just
Hold on, let me get a different video. We just recently watched this one, and I don't really feel like watching it again. There are so many more out there. Let's see.
And then you fucking sorry motherfuckers come out here like you fucking
What?
know something that nobody else fucking
No.
knows, or that you love my daughter more than I do.
I feel that way. You know what? I'm a nobody. I just care. That's all.
You don't care.
I swear to God, I care. I swear on my life, I care. I swear to you, I care. I wouldn't come down here if I didn't.
Cared, I'm gonna tell you something. If you really cared for Summer like you do, then you wouldn't have fucking caused us all the problems that you caused us.
But why are you
You
playing
went
with me?
with the fucking meth head Dudley and took his fucking hand, and then you went with Allie, another bitch that fucking turned her back on us, and all.
You hear how he's talking, all these people turning their back on him. You wonder why? Because nobody believes Don Wells had nothing to do with this. Nobody believes that child was abducted from that mountain. It's almost next to impossible. Anybody that has a half a brain that has gone to that mountain and has seen it can clearly see that there is no possibility. I don't care how much they want to say there's these dog trails and stuff. When dog trails go straight down at almost a 90-degree angle. Maybe dogs can climb up and down them, but you're talking about a grown person with a kicking child in their hand. There's no way. And not only that, but there's like the creek, and we talked about it, that goes around, that actually goes down about 2 to 3 feet. So not only do you have to scale this mountain that's going down at an angle, you've got to jump over, you got to drop back down into a creek and climb back up to the creek to get to the road. None of it makes sense. None of it has ever made sense. None of it. None of it. Let me go back here. We've got so much stuff on him, and it just doesn't make any sense. We literally have gone everywhere, and still none of it makes any sense. Is this the other one? Huh, what's this one?
Fifth United States District Court. Hard to see this like pattern because I've had to spend the.
Okay, so we've got. I got to go back through and find all the. I'll get all the Don Wells phone calls and get them all published into one video for everyone. So, we're listening to it, and I want to bring over here because we just heard about the whole story about Grandis and her niece. So let's go ahead and rewatch. What WJHL? Let me find WJHL's Twitter because I think we're going to find that whole entire interview, which was just crazy. That's what we really need. Let's go listen. Now let's listen to what Grandis had to say. Let's see what Grandis had to say. I know it's on here. It's probably back a little ways, but if anybody's got the link to it, I know I had the link to it one time. I need to keep all this stuff together. But still, nothing that they're making. And then now, I want to ask you guys this. We heard for a long time, their story about what happened that day. When did Grandis have time to take a nap? Was it because we'd heard that as soon as Candus came back from fixing her brace, she went into the house looking for Summer and couldn't find her. And then all of a sudden, Nisa, you're killing me. Oh my goodness. It's hard to keep a straight face right now. I love you, girl. Anyways, then so the story was that Candus, mom Candus, not grandma Grandis, Candus, went to her mother's trailer, fixed her knee brace. She told Summer to go up to the house. She went over to fix her mother's knee brace. When she came back, she was only gone for like 2 minutes, right? That's what she says. Like 2 minutes. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, she has said several stories about this, this particular area of time. So, again, the stories have changed quite a bit from the time what she originally said to the most recent time. So I'm curious to find out what was truly said about this. So catch me if I'm wrong. So she went to fix the knee brace. She was gone maybe possibly 2 minutes. And then she went into the house and asked the boys where Summer was. And immediately knew Summer was gone. So at what point did Grandis have time to go to sleep and take a nap? Good morning, Red. Good morning, Frenchie. At what time did Grandis get to go and lay down and take a nap? Because the way they were explaining, all these things happen. Boom, 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 right? There was no minute in the day that wasn't accounted for. And then all of a sudden on WJHL, Candus talks about going and taking a nap. When did that nap happen? Let's listen. Or I'm trying to find it now. I got to remember what day it was that she did it. Oh, it's right. It was around the 1st. March 1st, I think is when it was. So we're just going through. I'm still getting there. Sorry, guys. I probably should have had it all pulled up, but I thought I had all my interviews with Don readily available this morning, and clearly they weren't in where I thought they were. So that was my fault. I should have checked it before I came live. I didn't. So I thought we were going to have more Don Wells interviews. I will get them all together. I promise you that. They will be all put together, and we will listen to every single one in timestamp order. And we're going to pick apart his statements now that he's gone. Now that we know that law enforcement is signaling them as being the primary persons of interest, we want to make sure that we go through it with a fine-tooth comb. And you guys can help me pick up on some stuff, right? Because you guys got great ears. Sometimes you catch stuff I don't catch. Sometimes I catch stuff that you don't catch. It's a great working relationship we have on this channel. So we're going to go through it. Oh my gosh. Let me just see if I can do this again. WJHL. And we'll say Summer Wells. See if I can find it that way. Golly. There it is. Thank God. That's only one portion of it. Oh, we got a whole bunch of stuff on here. Let's listen to them all. Why not? It's my most favorite. Let's listen. Bring it in here.
And is the family still cooperating? I know you said obviously no Don's there, but like the mother and all those other people, are they still cooperating?
No, they're not cooperating right now. They have attorneys.
Is there anything else on that front you want to say or speak about?
Not right now.
He looks pissed.
So much on social media and called into my office and TBI find that it's not even relevant to the case and the rumor mills, and it hinders it because sometimes we have to stop the wheels to check into something that's not.
Thank you, Benny Keys.
I assure you that we have to give 100% effort. I mean, we, TBI, the FBI, my officers, we give 100% effort on this case. No stones left unturned, and we're not done yet.
And is the family still cooperating? I know you said obviously no Don's there, but like the mother and all those other people, are they still cooperating?
No, they're not cooperating right now. They have attorneys.
They're not cooperating right now. They have attorneys. Just a shame. Just a pure shame that is where we've gotten with the Wells. Here, let's see if we can get more of a soundbite on this one.
Our maintenance technicians are trained to.
Hate the commercials. Let's see what we can go back and get. Yeah, I won't let you play it.
Antioxidant that promotes skin health. Almond.
Sorry, guys.
Almonds.
We don't need to hear about almond milk. My mouse is not functioning right. I got too many things running right now for it to function. So I'm just trying to look. Let's listen to this.
And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and
Golly.
she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and
Not letting me
she wanted
move
to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay. And I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen.
Sorry, I'm having mouse issues. It's popping me. Golly, it's popping me all over the place. Sorry, guys. Let me go back to. All right, I'm getting frustrated now. Let me try this again. There we go. And then we'll go to Brandis' statement.
We're planting flowers. Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay. And I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes, I came back. And I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. Me and my mother and her were planting flowers.
Okay.
And we went in after we got done washing her.
So that was her statement on June 28, 2021. Let's hear what the statement is. Now, these are abbreviated statements. They don't have the full, we will get them, but they don't have the full.
You have an attorney yourself.
No, ma'am. He can call me anytime. He can pull up in this yard and knock on my door and ask me any questions he wants to ask me.
How often are you in contact with law enforcement, whether it be Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, TBI, even FBI?
They have not contacted me since.
You have a missing granddaughter that you think was abducted, and not one person in that entire household picks up the phone and calls law enforcement for any type of updates. This is March 1st on this interview. March 1st, folks. And she's about to say they've had no contact since December when we were there, and we were there at the beginning of December. Listen to this.
The YouTubers were down here in the driveway, and we asked them about trespassing.
And going off of that, are you how often is Candus in contact, or anybody in contact with the agents working Summer's case?
I can't speak for Candus. In the beginning, they were here off and on all the time.
Never answers the question. Never once answers the question about how often they've been in contact. She's not asking how often has law enforcement contacted them. She's asking them how many times has Candus, Dawn, and Grandis here reached out to law enforcement? And the answer is none. The answer is none. She refuses to answer because they have not made any contact with law enforcement unless law enforcement has initiated that contact. Does that sound like parents and grandparents that don't know anything about their granddaughter? Look at them. She doesn't break down. Mom doesn't break down. Dad doesn't break down. Nobody seems to be concerned for this little child missing. You know who's concerned for this little child missing? Us. Summer's Army. The people that are in this chat right now are more concerned about the well-being of Summer Wells than her own blood family. No tears. She's more angry at the YouTubers being there poking around than she is about her daughter missing, or her granddaughter missing. Does that bother anybody in here? It bothers me. It surely does bother me.
But now I haven't heard from them.
Haven't heard from him. Well,
Do you have an attorney yourself?
No, ma'am.
get one. Let's see if we can find some more on here. That was penned for March 1st. I'd like to get the whole interview because the whole interview was really, really good. And here we go. 46 seconds. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see if we can get this. So there is the letter. Out of all the stuff, Candus was going online quite a bit. But here, let's listen to this whole thing in its entirety. And it's longer than this. There was 2 sections, but let's listen to this one.
I told TBI I left. I went to the sheriff's department and talked to Ron Lawson and told him, you've got my phone number. Anything comes up, just call me, let me know. And they've never called me or anything. And I don't know the rights in Tennessee with the grandchildren. I don't know.
She doesn't know the rights in Tennessee for the grandchildren. So she doesn't know if she can call, but she also never tried to find out either, right? She never tried to find out what they are. She doesn't care. The lady doesn't care.
But if they can't get a hold of Candy, they could always call me. I left because I had a medical appointment. It was my year.
So she's explaining why she left when Summer went missing. When Summer went missing, she hightailed it out of there. Many people forget that. This lady hightailed it off that mountain.
The medical appointment, which is coming up again. And so I can get my prescriptions renewed. And that's the only way I can get them renewed is by seeing my doctor. And then I also go to the missing in Wisconsin, which is in April, which is coming up real soon. So, and I spend some time with my sister. And
so her granddaughter's missing, and she's concerned about doctor's appointments, events, spending time with her sister, all these things that don't have anything to do with finding Summer. And she has never reached out. She has never made an effort to reach out to law enforcement to inquire about her own kid, her own granddaughter.
And if people think that's wrong of me,
yes, we think that's wrong of you.
Then I guess that's what they'll have to think.
Yes, we all think that. Don't worry. Don't worry, Grandis. We got you covered, babe. We got you covered. So I know they had more on here. I'll have to find them, but that's what we've got so far, guys. I am about done with everything that I wanted to bring up today. I had a few more videos of our conversation with Don Wells. That's going to have to wait. We're going to just spread this out through the week. So come back here tomorrow and we're going to go through some more stuff. Go through all the stuff. If I can possibly. Oh, yeah, Alice. She sure did. But I want that one where she's saying that she was sleeping. I need to get those. On every single one. Are you kidding me? Every last one of them. Candus is me. Oh, that brings me to the other one. Let me do one more. I'm not done yet. I forgot I'm not done yet. Let's do one more. Let me pull this up. Let's do one more. Let me get it. Here we go. Let's do one more. The other. Me, right? Thanks for getting me covered. I would have forgotten all about this had you not said that. Let's not forget. Let's see how many times he brings up Summer Wells. Let's see how many times he brings up Summer Wells. Let's just listen. Let's listen. This is Don Wells. An interview. Let's listen.
Describe to people sort of what it's like to have your entire life scrutinized. Everything you say, everything you do, everywhere you go, someone is watching, someone is typing something on a computer screen or a cell phone screen. Can you explain to people who will be watching this what that's like?
Well, I mean, to go from having a certain amount of, you work all your life to build your reputation, and have
he works his whole life to build his reputation. Let's talk about his reputation. If I'm not mistaken, I would bring Jonathan up here on a live if I could get a hold of him, but he's out and about. But I'm pretty sure this man has, I want to say something like 40 different charges from misdemeanors to felonies 40 years of, and maybe I'm mistaking it for 40 years of criminal conduct across multiple states, Florida, Tennessee, Arkansas, Texas, Utah, and probably a few other states that we don't know about. But he works his whole life. Now, mind you, this man's been in prison. He's been in jail. He's currently in jail now. And he's talking about his reputation. Again, he has an opportunity here to be talking about Summer. He's choosing to talk about himself. Let's listen.
You become reputable. People, your employers and stuff have a certain amount of respect for you because you do what you're going to say, or you know, and then to have that all undermined and people not trust you no more and talk down to you and stuff like that, and on the verge of losing your employment, or people that did have respect for you, all of a sudden they're looking at you like, whoa, you know, and questioning whether you should even be allowed to have any part of anything because of all the things said. It really hurts, you know, it does. So your whole reputation's been undermined that you've worked for your whole life, you know, so it can be bad.
The reputation he's worked for his whole life. Again, 40 years of criminal conduct, multiple stints in jail, multiple prison sentences that span across multiple states. So not one time did he bring up Summer Wells, his missing at the time 5-year-old daughter. Not one time. Me, my reputation, me, my reputation, my reputation, me, my reputation. No, the reason why people are looking at you differently is because we've exposed who you are, Mr. Don Wells. We exposed you. We brought your criminal conduct to the table. Now, this is convictions, folks. Convicted criminal conducts, not just arrests. We did bring some arrests in that he wasn't convicted for, but the majority of his criminal conduct and criminal lifestyle, he was convicted for. So, oh yeah, that he did his own doing, and not only that, again, he's not reputable. He's cheap labor. That's what it is. He's cheap labor, and so these builders use him. So but his reputation on the job is him being a crazy a-hole. I know that because I spoke to many of his workers, the people that work next to him, including Dudley, which he tried to say he never offered him 50% yet. We just heard yesterday that statement truly was truthful. Because he admitted it himself. All he had to do, I offered him 50%, and all he had to do was show up. Well, you've been telling us this whole time that you don't pay anybody 50%. Now we got him on the record saying 50%. Dudley, if you need to use that clip, use it for court to extract your money from him, because I know he never paid you. So anyways, with that being said, anybody have anything? Would anybody like to come up and talk about how they're feeling about Don, Candus, Grandis? I'm going to throw, the link down below for you. And if you guys would like to, somebody would like to come up, the only rule is you have to show your face behind the studios. You can keep your camera on if you so choose. If you want to turn it off when you come live, you can. That's just to protect everybody here in the chat. But you're more than welcome to come up here if you disagree with me. As long as you talk respectfully, we can have discourse. Respectful discourse and respectful opposition. I don't care about that. So if it's something that you guys would like to come up and chat about, come on up. If not, we're going to be winding it down. I got a mess of paperwork to do this morning, and I got to get done. So I'll give you guys a few minutes. Yeah, they have a script. I'm going to go ahead and probably pipe this down. I need to get all the, we've got videos of Don Wells Okay, hold on. We got somebody up. All right, perfect. I'm going to bring you forward, Jason. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right, Jason, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Okay.
I
So
just wanted.
tell me a little bit about what you're on here for. Are you going to be talking about this?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, man, like you said, they've been lying this whole entire time. They haven't broke down. They haven't even shedded a tear, really.
Hmm.
Not one time and I've been watching it now for a good month. I've done some research on it. I tried to catch back up. There's just too many videos from when I started watching it to go back all the way to the beginning. I've
Yeah.
just been watching this going on for a month now, and I feel the same way you do.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you see what drives me the most insane is that we're watching this all play out in the news, we're watching it play out on social media, and we see the condition of the living environment that those children were subjected to. And then to know that that Candus Bly is still living out her life right now free. How does that make you feel, knowing everything that you've watched and saw on social media and media?
The least thing they should have been went to jail for is the child neglect.
Yeah.
The one thing, if they don't get charged with nothing else, that's what they should have gotten charged with. Just by the way that multiple people have done interviews with them and showed the inside of that house, the living conditions of the inside of that house. That's the one thing they should have been arrested for.
Yeah,
And they
no
haven't.
doors on the bedroom, no walls around the bathroom.
Nope.
Jose is talking about he had no privacy. This is a man that those kids didn't know, and
Right.
all his business is being played out right in front of him.
And he said too that he was the one when they saw him or Don and her in the shower together. He was the one that went and grabbed her out of the shower.
Yeah, I don't believe that happened. I believe
I
that
don't
if
believe
that
it.
happened, they would have been in a big brawl.
I don't think it happened either, but that's what he said, though. In my opinion, I don't believe it because no parent or even their brothers wouldn't have allowed that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's odd. It's odd. What do you think about hearing that Grandis had some time throughout this whole entire day on June 15th to take a nap? That this new napping thing coming out. How do you feel about that?
that's just another narrative that they're wanting people to believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like
she got
he
off
said,
script. She got off script because Don's not there cracking that whip.
Yep. He was I honestly think he was the one that wrote the script for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like he was in the middle of say so, you can't say this, you can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
And back to the of her going from planting the flowers to Summer wanting to go back into the house, and then her going to help her mom. She said it in an interview I seen her. She said it took 2 to 3 minutes to help her do with the knee brace, and then she went back to the house and then asked the boys where Summer was.
Right. Yeah.
But
that's crazy.
That's fishy to me that it took that long.
Yeah, and I'm still upset that it took Don this long to go to jail for the violation of probation, and Candus is still out. And and when we heard Jose talking, he was so adamant about blaming everything on Don Wells, but Don Wells wasn't even living in the home when he moved in, and so he never really blamed Candus for anything, for their living conditions, for the fact that kids weren't eating right. He blamed it all on Don, and Don was living in Utah.
Yep. The thing is that what gets me too is when CPS got called in, then they decided they wanted to clean up the house.
Yeah.
They should have done that a long time ago before that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, CPS the next day, everything is moved around.
Yeah.
The bunk beds were gone. The bunk beds were gone. The couch in the basement was gone. That hasn't been seen.
Yeah. Nobody knows where that couch went.
Nobody knows where the couch went. But remember the U-Haul, could it have been and took him with the U-Haul?
Possible. It's possible.
When they came down and then Jose stayed,
Mm-hmm.
could that couch have went to inside the U-Haul?
Yeah.
That's just in my
Yes.
opinion, though. That's
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yep. Who knows? Who knows? Well, Jason, thanks for coming on. Did you have any last minute final words to say? I've got a troll in here. I need to put a kibosh on real quick.
I just say justice for Summer, and
Absolutely.
that's my last words. I thank you guys for letting me come up. I appreciate it. I've been wanting to come up on your panel. I've just been in the chat and just like, I had something on my mind. I couldn't sleep last night because
Yeah.
just thinking about this. And like I told you, when I hear people say that about her, it just makes me cry because it's happening to too many kids.
It is happening. Thank you. Yes, it is happening for entirely too many children. And, you know, and we're finding out more and more that the parents are more and more involved, you know.
Yeah.
And Benny even said, I don't really care for Benny too much, but he does bring out statistics, and he does bring out statistics properly. And he said that the people that go to like stores and actually abduct children are only like 150 a year. Yet we find statistics showing that parents are responsible for the death of their children under 5. 450 children per year are killed at the hands of their parents.
Do you know how many kids come up missing a year? I researched it. 460,000 kids come up missing annually a year. Wow. That's one every 40 seconds.
Wow. Yeah, it's sad.
And then how much of those kids? Those are the ones that we only know that are.
Yeah.
How many are not? How many don't get out there in the news?
Yeah,
that's just the ones that are. Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, those are the ones that just get out there in the news. There's probably triple that number that it really happens to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to thank you again for letting me come up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jason. And don't be a stranger. Come back, and you know, I'm happy to have you back on live when we're having this discussion. We're going to be discussing these interviews with Don Wells throughout this week.
Okay, yeah, I'll be back. I was looking up on Twitter too. I just looked up WHL. They ain't got really nothing on.
Yeah.
Well, anything new anyway.
Yeah, I was trying to get the full story that they ran on their live. And I'm pretty sure one of my mods sent me the whole clip. I just got to find it. I need to be more organized in these skits, which I'm not. That's my fault.
Can I tell you one more thing? And I said it in the chat too. You know who you remind me of? You remind me of Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife.
Oh, I know. I get that a lot, Beth Chapman. I actually am friends with her nephew, Justin Behag. We're really good friends on TikTok and everything like that. And he was supposed to actually come out to Moab, Utah with us when we were out there, but he had some things going on with his grandmother, and it prevented him from coming out there. So it's kind of funny you say that because I actually know her nephew.
Yeah, you remind me of so much like her. You look so much like her though.
Oh,
but may she rest in peace though. She's no longer with us. You do know that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah. Thank you, hon. Appreciate it.
Bye. So, you know, that's good. We got the troll out. I went ahead and so once you guys kicked him out, he can't come back in for another 5 hours. It's funny because we haven't seen him in a while. Like it's like funny because I almost missed Blank Screen, right? We almost missed him because we haven't heard from him in so long, with him calling me Strangler on the Ground, that he's almost part of the family. So, but I can't handle it. I can't handle it over and over again. He wants to throw one out there. I had to let him slide with it, but you know, doing it over and over and over again, it drives me nuts. But either way, we put the kibosh on him. Grand jury is meeting everyone, hoping. Okay. Blonde Fox, I want you to keep us posted on that, because people were receiving grand jury summonses, but they couldn't confirm that it was for the Summer Wells case. Do we know for a fact that this is for the Summer Wells case, or is it just speculation? And not just your I'm just curious if we know for a fact. I'd like to hear, you know, if possible. And if anybody else wants to come up, please come on up. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear, you know, what your thoughts are now that we're getting to this point. We're almost a year into this case, not quite, but pretty darn close. We're going into April. We're going into April, right? She was missing in June. So it's been 10 months. We're going to be going on 10 months on April 15th. When many of us are filing our tax returns, baby girl's going to be gone for 10 solid months and not one person. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I was hearing, because I thought nobody knew what the case was about, but people are getting grand jury indictments, subpoenas to appear. So this is going to be interesting. We will. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They keep my. But you know what? It's been kind of cool in here for a while. It's been quite cool in here for a while. Okay, Lisa. Thank you. I'm gonna pull you up. Hi, Lisa. I can't hear you. I think you're muted. Yeah, you got to unmute your mic.
I was just trying to text in the chat, but it won't let me.
Okay. So tell us what your thoughts are.
My thoughts are the whole thing's scripted, and I believe that Grandis is the mastermind of this whole thing, because she did take off right away out of there. It just looks real bad.
It does. It does look pretty bad for her. And she's trying to explain it away. Now, what do you think about this? They've been on this exact, trying to say this exact script for so long, but they keep changing it, modifying it a little bit here, a little bit there. But then the mind blower was when Grandis came out and said that she took a nap. What were your thoughts when you heard that?
This whole case gives me anxiety because I believe nobody in this case.
Yeah.
I've lived in Tennessee, on the borderline of Tennessee and Georgia, so I know how the terrain is out there, and I know that it's hard to possibly abduct somebody off of a steep terrain like that without killing themselves and the person that they're trying to abduct.
Right. I mean, it's a steep. That's what people don't get is this, that, when you see the photos, the photos just don't do that property justice, because there is almost a 90-degree drop. I mean, it's almost straight down from the side. I mean, I'm surprised that house did not have some kind of barrier around it so those young children didn't fall off the mountain. It was easy. And you could see stuff that have fallen off that mountain that was just scattered all over that mountainside. They couldn't
right. And yeah, I've been following this case since she's been missing, and everything to me has not added up. Not anyway has added up. I believe, in my heart, I believe that Dawn did get a loan from somebody, and maybe she was trafficked out of there for a debt owed.
I disagree. That's okay. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. Don't let me change your mind or anything like that. But I just think Don is too selfish, and it doesn't make sense. I mean, there's been a lot of allegations for that, but even if she was trafficked out, they would have found her by now. I mean, maybe not found her physically, but they would have found her online. They would. I mean, these sex trafficking agencies that monitor this stuff and know where to look, are actually have a lot of volunteer people that have recovered from sex trafficking to show the tricks of the trade and helps law enforcement locate people. And unfortunately, she's never been seen again. And you'd have to have some kind of avenue to sell this child or traffic this child. And that's where my hesitation on the whole trafficking portion change, because I mean, even if she was shipped overseas for trafficking, there's still some kind of market in some place to advertise her on that they have never even been able to find.
Right, I agree. I definitely agree with you on that. It's so hard to piece this case together because it's a lot of people everywhere, and I think a lot of people are attending the investigation.
Yeah. And you heard Ronnie Lawson. He was talking about how, you know, people are adding other people and they have to stop what they're doing to investigate people that are irrelevant in the case. But it's causing them to have to stop the case on relevant stuff to chase the irrelevant information out. Like, you know, that the Sherfy kid, you know, he was arrested for, you know, child porn on his computer. But he wasn't even in the area at the time Summer disappeared. He was in Kingsport.
Exactly. Like I said, I've been following this case since day one, and nothing, like I said, nothing adds up. And it's just, I believe it's a matter of time before somebody cracks this case open. Yeah. They can't keep on lying and it not catch up with them.
Yeah, I think it's already catching up with them. And when we were out there in December, the one piece of information we did not have is when they called law enforcement on us, we didn't realize that law enforcement wasn't listening to them. They weren't even entertaining the idea that we trespassed, which we didn't. You know, there was a part where, you know, Marissa did go into a building or check a building on their property, but she wasn't asked to leave by any owner. She wasn't, you know, in technicality, they need to ask us to, you know, leave their property and not come back. So now that took place, and she was the only person that literally stepped on that property. And Don, we've got him on the phone saying basically he doesn't care, and he's letting that slide or whatever he wanted to use for that. But just think about the optics of them being concerned about people on their property looking for Summer Wells and calling in to trespass those people that are looking for their missing daughter. Think of the optics of that. And then we find out law enforcement was very rude to Candus and Grandis. Now, why would law enforcement be rude to people that have lost a child?
Because they potentially know that they're lying.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Bingo.
And the thing that the back door, if there was a couch there, I can guarantee if that couch was heavy enough, I can guarantee Summer's not moving that couch.
She did not move that couch. It was a full size. It was a full size couch. It was a full size couch. I knew. We never even knew that couch was there. Because we watched the Chris McDonough video, and there was no couch there. We first found out that the couch was there when we interviewed Allie, her mother, and her grandmother. And they talked about the couch and said, where's the couch? The couch has always been up to that door. How did somebody break into that door with that couch being right there and that door being locked? And we're like, a couch. And that's when the light bulb went off. Where did this couch go? There was no couch in front of that house. There was no couch inside that house. That couch literally disappeared. Nobody can account for that couch unless, you know, law enforcement may have accounted for it. I don't know. But we out there in YouTube world and in the public have no idea where this couch disappeared to.
You're right. And you're about the very few creators on YouTube that I do watch in this case.
Yeah.
Not that I don't sometimes, you know, comment in the comments, but I do watch. I try to watch, you know, credible people.
Yeah. Yeah. And we went out there, you know, a lot of people,
right. I've seen all your videos in the hotel and, you know, everything. I've watched from afar and not really base my opinion because this case really does give me anxiety badly because I know as a child, I was faced with the same similar situation Summer was. My parents was not good parents. Yeah. So this does pretty much come close to home for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that, but at least you survived. You know, it sounds like her brothers, because of her, are going to survive. And hopefully, you know, they are able to break this horrific cycle that has plagued this family on both sides of the family for many generations. So, you know, Summer really, you know, she is not dying in vain, and she's not gone in vain either. You know, I don't want to say dying, you know, dead.
Right.
It's hard for me to say that, but I do kind of feel like she's just not here. And long story short, without her disappearing, I don't think her brothers would have been saved the way that they were. They have been saved because of of what happened, and we have to
Yes.
say that 100% to Summer Wells.
I believe Summer's brothers. I believe Summer did save her brothers. It's just like, I don't know why her parents are putting a blame game on everybody else when they're questioning everybody, and it's going right back to the parents.
Yeah, everything, and that's what we came across. Even though we don't know what the elements were that caused her disappearance, when we were out there, everything kept circling back to them in that mountain. Everything, and I have to think that without us having law enforcement backgrounds and without having the information that law enforcement has, they have more information, and I believe that's why they keep circling back to that same property and the same people, is because of the information they have.
Yeah, but possibly, what if they keep on just moving her and staying one step ahead of the police?
Well, the good news is Don is gone, so he's in jail, and I believe he was the one that actually concocted a lot of this. I believe Grandis is a smart old bat, and I think it was concocted by all three of them. But now that the muscle is missing and is in jail, I think it's making it very difficult for anything to happen, because then you're going to have to bring somebody else into it. And with the whole, nobody trusts anybody. And I just don't see at this point, wherever Summer's at, that's where she's staying.
Yeah, I don't trust anybody. I definitely don't trust the grandma, and I definitely don't trust Candus, and I definitely don't trust Don. If I had to say or guess who did it, I believe Candus did it, and Don found out later. That's my belief. Don't nobody have to believe me. That's just my opinion.
That's kind of where my position is as well. That's where my position is as well. And it's just the fine details of what truly did happen. And nobody knows that. But when it comes to who's involved, I think you're spot on with that, because that's kind of where I'm at.
I believe there's a lot of players.
Yeah.
A lot. I believe it's just not her parents either. I believe it's people that been closely around her at some point in her life.
Yeah. I agree. There might be some other people, and if it's not other people that actually help contribute, it's other people that actually know, because we know when Candus gets alcohol in her, she starts having loose lips herself, and think about what she's told people close to her. I mean, look at Benny. Benny has a treasure trove of conversations he's had with her while she's intoxicated.
Yeah, I cannot stand Benny.
Not many people can. Trust me.
I cannot stand Benny.
I feel you, and I've never trusted him, and I've been, I try to tone it down for, a respectful debate for, a creator, but to be honest with you, and at the end of the day, whether I like Benny or not, I mean, at least he went out there, and clearly he didn't, this whole time he's been, making people think that he believes them, but clearly he didn't even believe them. And he's been just amassing all this evidence that he can possibly amass against them to utilize later. So, now you have one of their key people fighting, that was in their corner fighting for them, that has come out and basically said this whole time he does not believe Don and Candus are not involved. He believes they are involved, and that he has all this information about them. And so it's like even their best supporter never believed them.
What do you think about Tim Mullins?
I think the guy's a creep. I watched some of his, we did a deep dive on Tim Mullins early on, and we watched some of his videos. We never understood how he could be considered the media manager, because outside of him making videos, his videos were pretty stupid and kind of creepy. Previously, I watched a few of them from several years ago, and I'm like, this guy's a weirdo. And for him to be their media manager, but being a media manager, he refuses to speak to anybody that reaches out to him for questions or answers. Being the media manager, you would think that he would be well versed in speaking to media people related to the case. That's what a media manager typically does. And so I thought he was a creep from the very beginning. I never really trusted him. I thought he was an insignificant player, but now that the tables have turned a little bit, I think he has his hand more into the pot than I ever thought he did.
I always thought he was a creep. I thought that he inserted himself. Why did he insert himself?
I don't even know where he came from. Was he associated with the church? Was he not associated with the church? Where did he come from?
A lot of people are saying that he was within the church, and a lot of people saying that he's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't confirm or deny or get information one way or the other. I don't know where he came from.
But as you see in some pictures, some of them are cut out, but you can see Candus looking over to the side, and they're saying that she's looking at Tim Mullins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's going to certain places
to save her life. If she had, like seriously, she would not a chastity belt offer, a metal chastity belt. She would not offer. I'm sorry. That is horrible for me to say, but it's what I believe.
There's one picture on Grandis Facebook that really had my gut wrenching, and it was, I think, in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and it was like big rocks with like big cracks in it.
Mm-hmm.
That picture got me gut wrenched because let's say this: what if she said she went to Wisconsin but didn't go to Wisconsin, went to Arkansas, and far-fetched had Summer somewhere tucked away?
Yeah. I'd like to know where she went. I really would. I'd like to know where she went. I'm sure law enforcement has tracked her. You know, that's what's bad about this day and age. You can't really go anywhere without having some type of camera footage on you at all times. I mean, even out there in Rogersville, Tennessee, there's bits and pieces of tracking phones, and because the cell service sucks, and you have to have, I think it's AT&T that works the best out there. Even my Verizon wireless phone was not working out there. So, and then my Verizon wireless phone works just about everywhere across this country. That's why I'm with Verizon. But in this area, they can't. It didn't work. So outside of them not being able to monitor his phone and his whereabouts all the entire time, I'm sure they had some tracking capabilities on all their phones. You know, and there is videos out there. There are places that have video surveillance. So he said he was at a place. There's the Walgreens, the dollar stores, the Dollar Generals, the Walmarts. They all have security cameras out there, and I'm sure that if he said he was in one direction or another, they had to have been able to spot his vehicle and be able to determine what time he truly was in those areas.
And how does Don know somebody was up on that property looking at kids when he was supposed to be at work?
I think we have a good conclusion that he may not have been at work the entire time, because
that's what my gut tells me. My gut tells me that he wasn't at work all day. He showed his face to collaborate. He was at work, but he had free range so he can go and do whatever he wanted.
And he did, because he was a subcontractor. He was not an employee, so he didn't have to clock in. His only job was just get the job done. So yes, that is true. He had free reign to do whatever the heck he wanted. If he didn't want to show up to work, he didn't have to. He wouldn't be doxxed. Docked for that, because the bottom line is they give him a deadline to get the job completed, and it needs to be completed by that deadline.
Right. And what baffles me, when he was at work sitting on that tub, in deep thaw or whatever they said the day before Summer went missing. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
What if that whole day was just an alibi and she went missing before the 15th? What if the swimming hole did not happen and it's an old picture?
Yeah, that is what is alleged by Dudley, because he said he can't explain that. But I think we have enough people saying that they saw Summer the day on June 15th alive that kind of debunks that theory. But who are we getting that information from? And they were all connected and tied in with Candus very tightly at that time. So, we want to believe that she was okay. I honestly believe that the reason why he was in such deep thought that day is because he knew that CPS was coming, and with the condition of their living environment and the condition of that house, I think he knew those children were going to be taken from him. And if that was the case, and it could have been because there was some SA going on, and once DCS was involved, it would have been brought to the attention of them. That could be another. That's been peddled around as well. So there are a lot of different theories as to why this happened when it happened. I mean, think about it. She disappeared the day that DCS was coming to the house. There's a lot of coincidences here that don't look good.
Nothing looks good and nothing pans out.
Yep, exactly.
I would have thought TBI would have been on their game and interrogated them in the first 48 hours. And where I stay in the northern state, in Chicago, and if we have problems with kids or adults with kids, they immediately remove them from the house and they charge the parents with the least neglect.
Yeah, and that happens right here in the state of Florida. That happens in Georgia. That happens in Virginia. That happens in all these surrounding states of Tennessee. Why it has not?
Why not Tennessee? Why not in East Tennessee?
Yeah.
Why are they too relaxed in East Tennessee?
Yeah.
I've met
we've got all these incident cards here. We have all these arrest records here, and there was many times that Don saw behind the wheel of a vehicle operating a motor vehicle, yet he had never once been charged with a DUI in the state of Tennessee until the most recent charge.
Do you think he's an informant, a paid snitch?
That up, I think he's too much of a POS to be an informant. But there's a lot of POSs out there that are informants. I just don't think that an informant status precludes you from being charged in the disappearance of a young child. I think if anything, that would, if he was, they would have came down on him even 10 times harder, because he was already working with law enforcement and committed this hideous crime or alleged crime. I think they would have been done with him and would have been working 10 times harder, especially with him going around saying he spent $2,000 on drugs and started handing them out to all these people just because he was being followed. And I don't think he was being followed. I think he was just paranoid from the drugs he was on.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. I honestly do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nothing they say pans out. It's ridiculous. If they were in Chicago, they would have been thrown under the jail 10 times.
Yep. And so I was gonna, I tried to reach out to Don for a visitation. He refused to visit with me online. And, and that's okay. It's not like he has to visit with me or anything like that. But I just found it quite odd that he has not shut his mouth this entire time. Every time I've called, he's talked to me for literally an hour, hour and a half at times. And now he doesn't want to say boo. And it comes back to, is he not cooperating, and has he lawyered up? And is that the reason why he's not talking to me anymore? Because they have all these statements from him. We published them. We actually, before we published statements, we turned them over to TBI. We have this program called We Transfer. I can transfer over 200 gigabytes of data and send it to somebody. And so, law enforcement, Olivia had sent law enforcement all of our interviews that we did when we went down there in December. So they had them on the record. And we did that because we felt that was the right thing to do. And I'm telling you, since then, he's come out and has changed, the statement of the abduction has always stayed the same. But the details of the day in question, June 15th, has changed quite dramatically. And now we're finding out Candus found time to take a nap. And it's like, well, with their story, where does she carve out a nap time? Because their story has been so tight. And when there was air pockets in it, they filled it up with some more BS. And then now we're throwing in a nap. It's like, where does this nap come in through this whole busy day of planting flowers and fixing knee braces and going to the grocery store and putting groceries up? When do you have time for a nap? Right before your granddaughter went missing, when Candus stated she just came back from your camper after putting your knee brace on, and when she came back, Summer was gone, missing. when she was missing, did you decide to say, oh, she'll be found and go in there and take a nap? Like, when did this nap come about? When did she take this nap?
The 2-minute time from camper to house, I don't believe. The flower planting, I don't believe. And Warriors Park, I believe they went, but I don't believe Grandis was with them, because if she says she was asleep and they dropped Grandis back off, Hunter went back to that house with Candus to drop Grandis off, and then they went. It's my feeling on that.
Yeah, I agree.
And I believe the video that I seen, and Grandis or somebody, I don't even think it was Grandis, but some female was yelling or saying, "Don't drink that pop." I believe when Candus went to the hippie house, I believe that orange soda was tainted with Delta 8.
Yeah, it could very well have been. They did have quite the array of products there, and it was definitely a cannabis type of place. It was not a place that you would get. I mean, I purchased nicotine vapes from there, and they had such a small selection. I literally had wintergreen or whatever other kind, something, because I like the minty flavor. And they didn't even have the flavor like Skittles and stuff like that Candus usually takes. So there was a reason why she went there. And I'm curious as to what she purchased from that store, because nobody can tell me.
I can guarantee you it wasn't nicotine.
I can guarantee that too, because I mean, it had a lot of marijuana products in it. And I'm not saying marijuana was being sold there like some people were trying to allege when I say that. I'm saying that this place had bowls, it had bongs, it had
I understand. I completely understand what you're saying, because I did a lot of research on Delta 8, opiates, and synthetic drugs.
Yeah.
So this is what it comes down to. Any synthetic drug that you put into a drink, it's harmful to a child, no matter what degree you put in. You can put a whole Delta 8 in it. It's not FDA certified at all. It says on Google, when you research it, FDA is not certified, and it should not be in the house or around kids at any point in time.
Right.
Because it's a harmful chemical and it is synthetic.
Yeah.
It's like a powder K2 synthetic drug.
Yep.
If you take too much, it will put you in a comatose state. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
As you see, Summer, she's kind of passed out hardly on the milk jugs.
Yeah. And my mom brought up to me as well, and I never caught it the whole time. I've been sending the videos and the photos over to medical professionals that I knew, and just, send it over to them and ask them what they saw. And nobody brought it up, but my mother caught it. And what she caught was, Candus saying, "Is her arm still up?" As if, raise your hand when you're having a hard time breathing. And she's like, "Is her arm still up?" And it sounded like she was concerned if her arm was still up, like as if she knew she was in medical trauma. And I went back and listened to it, and surely she says it. And so it causes me concern that, even Candus knew she was in medical need when that video was being taken. Whether that's
and didn't get her help because she knew that something was in that house not right. As for Don could have sexually assaulted her many times, which is sad to say, and I don't want to think that, but that's the only thing I could think why they did not get her any medical help, because they were going to be in trouble.
Yeah. There's something definitely going on there. And like I said, there's just too many coincidences going on in and around this whole DCS. Did that have something to do with it? There's whether Don was at work all day or not, but everybody has told us that Don cuts off at work around 3:30. And that means, and he always got home around 4:30, depending on how far his job was from the house. So if Candus says that Summer went missing and she didn't see her around 5:30, that would allege that Don Wells was home at the time that Summer went missing. So we have to look at all these factors. And you're right, none of it makes sense because when we started out, we were under the impression that Don was at work at the time Summer went missing. And so if he wasn't, that changes the game. That changes the perspective. That changes what could have happened that day with Summer.
Grandis already changed the timeline when she spoke to WJHL and said that she was asleep, and she already changed that timeline. So what else happened within that day?
Yep, absolutely. Obviously, there's some holes being poked into it, and I talk about the cracks in the dam. I feel like the dam is going to be, it may not be right away, but I definitely believe the dam is going to break apart and the floodgates are going to open. And it won't be until that point that the world finally finds out what truly happened that day, what truly happened with Summer, and what does law enforcement truly know about that day.
And what else baffled me when she did Candus did the first interview when she said her husband and her kid's father, and that made me believe that Summer had a different father than Don.
Mm-hmm. It's possible that, she's had multiple affairs on Don, I can tell you that. And this whole thing with Jose saying he was not, involved with her in any way, I find that to be factually incorrect with two eyewitnesses. One being what caused the disruption in Allie and her friendship is because Allie walked in on them in bed together. And so did Grandis. And Grandis is the one that actually called Don in Utah to tell him about that. And I think the reason why she did that is because she wanted Jose as well, because that's what we learned in December before Jose ever came out, is that they were all fighting over Jose. It wasn't just Allie and Candus, it was Allie, Candus, and Grandis. It was pretty twisted.
I agree with you. What do you think the possibility of Allie having something to do with it?
Zero. She did not step on that property. She wanted nothing to do with that property. She barely even wanted. The only reason why she allowed Hunter to even be around him is because she didn't want to take her children away from. Because Summer and Hunter were like brother and sister. And she did not want their adult squabbles affecting the children. But as far as Allie being over at their house, absolutely not. She was done. Candus had already threatened to blow her effing head off. I've got that documented from a police report as well. So I think all these fingers that the Wells have been pointing to everybody else. There's, you got one pointing to everybody else, and you got three pointing back at yourself.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. 1 point finger at somebody else, 10 point back at them.
Yep. At the person making the allegations. Yep. So
now Don's gone. He can't keep up the narrative. Now everything is wacky.
Yep, everything's falling apart. The cracks are starting to show in their statements. But Lisa, thank you so much. We're going at the top. We're about 2 hours and 30 minutes in, so I'm going to be winding this down. I appreciate for you coming up. I hope you come up again. We will be talking about these interviews we've had, these phone interviews with Don the rest of this week. I'd love to get your perspective going through the week. So please stay tuned and keep coming back.
All right, just know I can't. Somebody blocked me from chatting in the comments, so I will be watching. I just can't comment.
I just changed the settings. If you're not subscribed to this channel for at least 5 hours, you cannot comment. And it was because we had a troll in here. And so I had to change the settings while you were on.
Right.
So
I've been subscribed to you since like months and months ago. But then when you put it on subscribers, it goes, you was watching the kids movie, so you can't comment.
Okay. So what you can do is just send me the link to your YouTube and I will unblock you if you are blocked. Just email it to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com.
All right. I don't have a channel or anything.
You don't need to have a channel. In order for you to be on here, you have to have an account. So your account link is what I need.
All right, I email you, and I'm so glad that you're keeping Summer name out there and incredible information. I'm so
Yes,
glad
thank
you're
you.
doing this.
Thank you, love. Well, take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, folks. Well, we are at the top or the mid of 2 hours, so we're going to go ahead and cut this. No, I know, it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. So we're going to go ahead and cut this. I just want to tell you guys all have a great, wonderful Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or is it Wednesday? I'm losing my days. Oh my goodness. Anyways, have a great day. We will be back tomorrow around the same time. I hope to see all of your beautiful faces in here tomorrow. We are going to open the panel up to people. If we can keep the trolls out, I will not have to toggle the system for 5 hours. We will try it without it. And if we do, I would just recommend anybody that wants to comment on here. It's Wednesday. Okay, so we're hump day. We're going to slide into the weekend. Thank you for all of you keeping me up to date. It is so hard sometimes. And so tomorrow we will be back here. We're going to do an open type panel probably about midway through just to get some perspective. If you guys would like to subscribe to this channel, I would behoove you to do that. Yes, behoove you to do that before tomorrow, just in case I have to put the 5 hour setting on there, depending on our trolls. So we just don't want to have to make our mods work harder than they already work. They're great mods, and we like them to enjoy the chat as well. So thank you to all my beautiful and amazing mods for being here. We appreciate all the hard work that you do. Please come back and join us again tomorrow morning. And with that, have a great Wednesday, y'all.